Hello, welcome everybody. Are you having a good night? Sorry, my brownie is crying. She apparently wants to go outside right now. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are doing good. As people come in, Jamie will be here shortly. And I'm also turning on my laptop so I can see your comments a little better. As you guys come in, how's everybody's Friday evening going? Hello, how are you doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing good. As you can tell by the title, we're doing something kind of different tonight. I'm going to start taking off my makeup from work. And getting ready. And then as people come in, I'll kind of explain what we are doing. Because I'm sure the title definitely probably throws everybody. Hello, how are you doing tonight? Welcome in. Thank you for coming. I'm going to start taking off my makeup from work. How are you doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Hello, Scratch and Pete. Are you having a good Friday evening? Did you have to work today? Were you off? And Jamie should be shortly because she's joining me tonight. Yes, I was going to ask you. I thought that you were new. Welcome. It's always nice to have somebody new to our lives. We are excited to have you. Hey, Debbie. I'm so glad you came. I'm always excited when you get to pop in. I know we kind of do kind of a later live, so not everybody can always stop by and stay very long. Because I work until 9, and so like it's always a late one. Oh, you can't hear me? Let me see. Is that better? Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? You can hear me? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so oh, here's Jamie. So tonight we are
Huh?
I was just getting ready to explain what we were doing.
Oh, okay. I'm getting my phone ready.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so tonight we are going to be telling a story about murderers while doing our makeup. I'm sure you guys have all heard of like Bailey Caesarian. Is that how you say your last name? And she does like Murder Mondays. And there's a few other people that kind of have that style where they do makeup and tell stories about murders. And so we thought it would be fun to make that alive. And so that's what we're doing. We're doing murder, makeup, and mayhem. And so tonight we're going to be telling the story of the Benders, who was like one of the first serial killers. And they actually took place in Kansas. And that is where I'm from, Kansas. And so we just thought that would be kind of a good way to start things off. Oh, that's what is connecting to. I was like, oh no, because I got a new phone and I'm like the worst with technology. So I was like, oh no, it's probably my fault. Because, you know, it would be the first time like that I've had issues with getting this phone going. So it could have been me, Debbie. Totally could have been.
Hi, Pete. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
It's the first time Pete's been on our lives. He said our title was intriguing, so he had to come and see what it's about. And me and Jamie is also going to be using the same palette tonight. There was nothing we decided to do, so we're both using the same palette, and we decided on the Cake palette, right, by Glamlight?
Yes. Let me stick it.
How are you feeling?
Not too good.
That good? Okay.
No.
So this is the Cake palette. This is the packaging. The Lamplight has like the cutest packaging. Like really, their packaging is like.
They always have amazing packaging.
I don't. There's another company that has like cuter packaging than Glamlight.
When I bought this, I didn't know if these things turned or not because they look like they turn.
I've never really kept like the all of the packaging because with Glamlight you almost have to because it's so cute.
And then when you take it out, I believe. Let me see.
Yeah. I like that you can fold it back.
But on the back, they even have the nutrition facts.
Yeah, I like that you can fold it back because it's so much easier. Like when you lay it back.
Hi, Griff and Hope. Viper style.
Yeah.
Hi, Ginger Ninja, Dr. Pepper, and Doc P.
Hello, everybody that came in.
So are you going, like, how are you going to start since yesterday was really sick?
Yeah.
We didn't get to practice?
Yes. Did you read my notes?
Yes.
I wasn't, I kind of, I hope you could kind of read my writing.
Look at the comments. Look at all the hearts.
What?
Look at all the hearts in the comments.
I know. I saw that. So, we're going to, and we'll try to, whenever one of us is reading, we'll try to go through and read the comments when the other one's not reading. Okay. Let me put the dog out really quick. You can kind of. Thank you. Thank you, North and South. Thank you. I'm going to let the dog out really quick. You can kind of, tell everybody that just came in what we're doing and the name of the story that we're telling.
The Bloody Benders are from when, 1872?
Yes. We'll get into that.
We're telling a story about murder and mystery and mayhem from 100 years ago. Um, it's about a family of killing. They really don't have a count exactly of how many people they have killed.
No, there,
It takes
there is.
place in Kansas. Where? What Kansas? What? I don't
It
remember.
was no. We'll get into all that. We'll get into where they're from. I mean, to what part of Kansas and everything.
But we're
Because
going to be using the cake palette while telling us the story about the Bloody Benders. Too bad we don't have like a gory kind of palette.
right. I mean, yeah, you can have a Revolution palette. What is it? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. But they came out with it like in Halloween time.
Oh, I know what you're talking
The
about.
palette or something like that.
I'm always afraid to bend my palettes backwards.
This one is you can.
Yeah, you can. I was afraid to because it was kind of stiff at first.
No, blame lights you can.
You can also set it up then too.
Okay.
Well,
All
welcome everybody.
Okay. All right. So the story. Okay. So the story starts out, Bloody Benders, also known as the Bender family. They were the first serial killers that, and they came from Lafayette County, Kansas. And they were they consisted of John Bender. He was the dad, and then the wife was Elvira, and then the son was John Jr. and the daughter was Kate. And then John Bender Sr., he was around 60 years old, and he did not speak English very well. And when he did speak it, hi, Jen Jackson.
Hi, Jen.
You could not really understand it very well. And then Elvira Bender, she was around 55 years old, and she didn't speak English very well either. And they said that she was very unfriendly, and the neighbors took calling her She Devil, which I thought that was kind of funny because I felt like that painted a really good picture of what she probably looked like. I thought it was funny. But anyway, so then, do you want to read this part about the kids?
You kind of skimmed through the whole thing, so I'm not sure exactly where you're at. I see Jamie and then Tammy.
Well, because I had you starting it, and then but you told me to start it. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and read it then.
Well, where do you want me to start? I'll start.
Where it says
The beginning?
No. Where it says John Bender Jr.
Okay. John Bender Jr., he was 25 years old. He was handsome, with auburn hair and an accent. He would laugh aimlessly, so everyone thought he was half wit. Kate Bender, she was 23 years old. She was educated and attractive. Kate did speak English well, no accent. A self-proclaimed healer and psychic, she would pass out flyers. What's that?
I was just saying hi to Matthew.
Oh, she would pass out flyers advertising her supernatural powers and her ability to cure illness. The parents kept to themselves, but the kids regularly attended Sunday school in Harmony Grove. The Benders were to believe to be German, but no documents So here's where it gets hearsay. There's no proof of their relationship to one another, or they are born. John Bender Sr. was with another. Wait,
You can't read my writing.
no, not over there.
I did not live in Harmony Grove. I wasn't from that part of Kansas.
Was either from Germany or from the Netherlands, is what people thought he could born John Flickinger.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Flickinger?
Yeah.
Elvira was born Elmira Hill Mark in Adirondack Mountains. She married Simon Mark. She claimed that she had 12 children. 12 children. Then she married William Stephen Griffin. Elvira was suspected of murdering several husbands, although it was never proven. She was to believe that Kate was her fifth daughter. Also, Kate and John Jr. were husband and wife and not brother and sister. Is that me next? No, that's you.
Okay. All right, Matthew. We'll be here. All right. Okay. On May 18th, a body of the man named Jones was found, and he had a crushed skull and a cut throat. And it was discovered at Drum Creek. I know, 12 kids. That's a lot. That was a lot.
And that's all that they're positive she had.
Well, they don't know because, like it said, that there's no
Well, I mean, he was
documentation.
married again, so there could be more.
No, well, there's no documentation. They don't know. Okay, so he was found with a crushed skull and a cut throat. And then the first suspect was actually the landowner, but then no action was taken. And then February 1872, two more bodies were found, and that also crushed skull and cut throats. And then in 1873, more reports of missing people in the area. And then in the winter of 1872, George Newton Longcore and his infant daughter, Mary Ann, were from Independence, Kansas. They were resettling to Iowa, and they never returned. They were never saw again. And
Can
then,
you read up until March 28th? Because I can't read that top line.
I was going to.
Okay.
All right, start putting makeup on, or when you're not going to have time to do anything.
I'm just trying to see where you're at. I watched all the videos, and all the videos were pretty much the same thing over and over again. Nothing really said anything different in all the videos.
Mm-hmm. Spring of 1973, Dr. William Henry York, former neighbor of the Longcore, he went to look for them and was never arrived home.
March 28th, 1973, Colonel York showed up at the Bender's Inn with Mr. Johnson, asking about his brother that had gone missing. They admitted Miss Dr. York stayed there, but that they heard of an incident about a woman. Oh, wait.
Dr. York stayed there, but they they said that he probably had problems with the Indians, and then they heard of an incident about chasing a woman out of there with knives. And then when they asked her about that incident, she got mad and said that the woman cursed her coffee, um, and told the men to leave her house. So showing that she could actually speak English better than what she let on. I know my writing is like but I didn't.
Where the communities came together.
Okay, I'll read that. The communities came together because all these missing people, 75 locals, decided to get a search warrant, and they were searching from Drums Creek to the Big Creek and all the properties in between. But even though York suspected the vendors, nobody was watching them. So the vendors skipped town. And which I think is pretty stupid. If you were suspecting them, why wouldn't nobody watch them?
Right.
I mean, I thought that was kind of funny. And like, if that was happening nowadays, they would be watching them and they would like haul them in for questioning.
Yeah,
like,
and
they totally let them get away. So 3 days after all the locals got together and was searching, this neighbor, Billy Toll, was driving cattle past the vendor property and noticed that the inn was abandoned and that all the farm animals haven't been fed.
So they took off.
And yeah, I already said yeah. And there was a bad odor noticed, and it was coming from a trap door in the kitchen area. And when they it was all nailed shut, and then when they got in there
was nothing there, and then they actually moved
yeah, there was nothing in there. But when they opened it up, they noticed blood, but there was
on the walls.
So your turn. Start at so the search started around the house. Oh, it is crazy.
So they started searching around the outside of the cabin. Dr. York was found outside of the cabin. And so were 9 other grave sites. That was at midnight. The next 8 bodies were at midnight. The next 8 bodies were in 7 of the 9 suspected graves. Only 1 was found in the well. Lots of body parts. All but 1 had their heads bashed in with hammers. Also, their throats were slit. Papers said that incidentally mutilated, the young girl had been strangled or buried alive. State Senator of Kansas, Alexander York, offered $1,000 reward for the Bender family. Am I still going?
I can read the next one. On May 17th, the Kansas Senator A. Osborne offered a $2,000 reward for all the apprehension of all 4. And then it was believed that when a guest would stay at the Bender Inn, that the that the seat the guest would sit in would be over the trap door. And then Kate would distract them, and either John Jr. or John Sr. would bash their head in with a hammer. And then either Kate or Mom Bender would cut their throat to make sure that they were dead. And then they would open the trap door to drop their body into the cellar. And then they would, you know, move the body to bury it on the property wherever. Hello, Mr. J.
Hey, Mr. J, how are you? Detectives following wagon tracks to abandon wagon with starving horses and one lame mare outside of the city limits of, is that Thayer? Thayer.
Thayer. Thayer. Thayer. Thayer.
The Benders bought tickets to Leavenworth. That's what I thought.
Leavenworth.
One detective later claimed he had faced the pair to the borders. He found John Jr. died of apoplexy.
I think that's how you say it. I don't know.
Apoplexy.
Yeah, apoplexy.
Mom and Pa Bender were north to Kansas City and then purchased tickets to St. Louis, Missouri. In 1884, it was reported John Flickinger committed suicide in Lake Michigan. And also in 1884, he was soon in Montana arrested for murder near Salmon, Idaho.
They don't know if he did commit suicide basically, or if he was the one in Montana. So they don't know what happened to him is what they're saying. So he basically got away.
It seems like there's a lot of they got a lot away with a lot.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that are questionable.
Right. Well, they got away. Then in October 31st, 1889, it was reported that Miss Elmira Monroe and Mr. Eliza Davis had been arrested in Niles, Michigan. They were found guilty, were not found guilty, but rearrested for murder. Miss Davis claimed that Miss Monroe was Miss Monroe, but of course she was not Kate. She was her sister Sarah, and that then Miss Monroe turned around and said that she was indeed Kate, but the charges were never. They couldn't prove that they were they didn't have enough to charge them, basically. And so they got away with everything. And they had to let him go because they didn't have enough to convict him. So once again, the Benders got away with everything. So they let them go. And they had them. And so they never were found guilty. And the women got off. So the only one that really got anything was John Jr., who, died. But that, and you already said that the brother and sister, they probably weren't brother and sister.
Yeah, it's questionable if they're husband and wife or brother and sister.
Yeah. Okay. So these are all the victims that they know of. So May 1st, 1871 was Mr. Jones. The body was found in Drum Creek, and he had a crushed skull and a cut throat. February 2nd through the 3rd, 1872. Unidentified man was found in the prairie, 1872, with a crushed skull, and they both had cut throats. And December 4th, 1872, Ben Brown from Howard County, Kansas, and was buried at the apple orchard.
December 5th of 1872, W.F. McCarty. Is that C.O.? Oh, is that his infantry?
Yeah.
C.O. D-123rd 3rd Infantry Wagon Team of Horses Missing. December 6th of 1872, Henry Mackenzie relocating to Independence from Hamilton County, Indiana. Match team of horses missing. December 7th, 1872, Johnny Boyle from Howard County, Kansas, and his pacing mare, a saddle missing, and it was found in the Bender's well. December 8th and 9th, 1872, George Newton Loncourt and his 18-month-old daughter, Mary Ann, neighbors Charles Ingalls and family of Independence. The daughters were buried alive, but not proven. Charles Ingalls.
There was only one daughter. It was Mary Ann, and it was a daughter.
18 months old.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Okay. December 10th, 1872, John Geary buried in the apple orchard. December 11th, 1872, Red Smith buried in the apple orchard. December 12th, 1872, Abigail Roberts buried in the apple orchard. December 13th, 15th, 1872, various body parts not belonging to any of the other victims. There were probably 3 other victims, they said. December 16th and 19th, during the search, the bodies, there were 4 unidentified making, and they were found at Drum Creek. All 4 had crushed skulls and cut throats. One might have been Jack Bogart. And May 20th, 1973, Dr. William York buried in the apple orchard. Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. How are you? I like your new profile picture.
So that is all the victims from the Benders.
That they know of.
I mean, because after they disappeared, there was a few more murders that had crushed skulls and everything. But there were, they didn't count those as the original murders because they didn't prove that those were from the Benders or anything, because they couldn't prove that those were the Benders.
They believe that the ones though with the crushed skulls and the slit throats were definitely the Benders.
Well, they couldn't prove those were the Benders, like the ones.
No, they couldn't prove it. But didn't they find
after they
from
Kansas? The ones in Michigan and the ones after, they couldn't prove those were the Benders.
No.
I'm gonna get the dog. Hold on.
So how's everybody doing?
Nancy, I think he'll be back in just a minute. I think he's probably, I know he had to mod another channel, so he'll probably be right back. So if he doesn't answer, it's probably because we'll be back. But yeah, so what does everybody think of the story? What do you, I think if nowadays they wouldn't have got away, because it's crazy to me that they got away. You know,
I agree.
because I just think now modern times they wouldn't have not got away.
Well, no, I mean, DNA now is a lot different than back then.
Well, and they wouldn't have let them like just like
Go so
if
long
they
without
were
bringing them in.
right. The fact that nobody was watching them, I mean, that was kind of stupid.
Yeah. When they suspected that it was them. Maybe they were afraid. I'd be afraid.
Right. I think that was really stupid that nobody was watching them. You know, I think that was really ridiculous. But, and I also think it was really creepy that the whole father and the daughter and the son were, hey Tina,
Questionable.
yes, that they weren't really, but then they acted like they were.
Brother and sister, but actually they were married.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a little creepy. I mean, but they were going around killing people.
And the mother killed everybody she married.
I mean, and also creepy. I mean, they were like really weird, creepy people. I mean, I guess you kind of got to be when you're like the first killer, serial killer. But still weird.
But then when they searched under the house, where was those bodies?
They were all
Where'd they
buried
put
in
them?
the apple orchard.
The
Did
ones that they
you hear
believed
that
that were
part?
in the house were the ones that were in the orchard?
They're all buried. They buried him in the apple orchard, except for the one in the well. They just killed him in the house, and then buried
Yeah,
him
but
in
they
the
found
apple
like
orchard.
3
Did
arms.
not
They
hear
don't know who those 3 arms belong to.
what?
They said they found 3 just arms that
But
didn't belong to the bodies they found.
because they mutilated some of the bodies.
I know, but they also said that the 3 arms they found didn't belong to the bodies that they found. The bodies they found had their arms. They don't know who those 3 arms belong to or hands.
No.
That was in the podcast.
Well, yeah. They, but they found they did like there was like body parts, but they said there was like most of them that they were just some unidentified, but most of them they found.
Right.
And but you also got to think that there was probably graves that they couldn't find, and they didn't
I
have
believe
like
that
the equipment.
the hands that
But
I'm talking,
this was
the
in the
hands that I'm
18.
talking about, I believe they were in the well too.
I mean, you got to think this is at 1870 something. They
Right.
didn't have the equipment that they have now.
Well, they also didn't have censuses, so they don't know who they were missing.
Right. And they don't have the equipment that they do now. So I'm sure that there is a lot of things that they just didn't find or didn't have. So they didn't have the resources that we do now.
I feel bad for the 18-month-old little girl.
Yeah, but they didn't, I mean, they didn't harm her as bad as the other people.
No, but still.
Yeah. But they shouldn't have done that to anybody. They were sick people.
Yeah, very sick. None of these people had any reason to die. I mean, nobody has a reason to die, but none of them did anything.
I think that it sounded like they were stealing money and they were stealing stuff from him.
Yeah.
It was like when they were listing all the like the horses and the money. So it sounds like they were stealing.
Right.
Is what it sounds like. because when you're reading all of that, so staying at the end, so it sounds like they were stealing.
No, I agree.
Does anybody have thoughts about the story or anything? I want to hear your guys' thoughts too.
And next time, I promise, I will practice with you and go over this before we go live. The last 3 days have been horrible.
About that, we'll talk about that later. We don't need to talk about it now. I mean, I know that you didn't feel good. But no, I just thought it was like there was a lot of interesting things about the story. I just can't believe it happened when it happened, and no sooner to find out why these people kept on disappearing.
Do you know where that place is located?
Yeah, they have museums and stuff. I've never been there.
Like, is it close to you?
Well, Leavenworth is not that far away from here. Lafayette County, I've never been there. I don't think it's that far. And then they mentioned, in one part, they mentioned Emporia. Emporia is not that far. Like an hour south. But I've never lived in those towns or like small towns. And I'd never been to Grove like Matthew said.
I think it'd be neat.
And Independence, Kansas, I've never been there. Even though, I mean, of course, everybody in Kansas have read Little House on the Prairie. Because Laura Ingalls Wilder, we had to read those books in school. I think we even had Laura Ingalls Wilder Day at school.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's from Kansas. So you kind of have to. Oh, thank you, Jen. We'll have another one, not next Friday, but the week after.
Thank you, Jen. It's amazing though that place, the house that they lived in was so little.
Well,
but yet they had a
farm.
hotel and a store in it.
Yeah, I mean those houses back then weren't that big.
No, I just like to think if you had like travelers visiting and sleep there, but yet you had a store in there too. How do you find room for all that? That place was small.
Right. I don't know. I just think that was the time frame. I mean, they weren't. It was just the time frame.
Right. I was just looking at the house and I'm like, where did they put all that?
I don't know. And probably camped outside. There's probably areas and bunkhouses and stuff.
True.
They probably didn't sleep in the house necessarily. I don't know. I've never been to the property. I don't know. It would be creepy to go there, though.
I agree.
What are you looking for?
Huh?
What were you looking for? Did you get your stuff all organized? I forgot to ask.
No, I know. I haven't got much of anything done with my stomach. It's just not right.
Are you going to the doctor next week?
The 6th, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and like it's weird though because if I go on the car, it gets so much worse. Like I get car sick instantly now.
Probably because it's getting worse.
It's almost like if you go over a bump, I have to hold my stomach because it just, I don't know. It's just like immediate. I can't explain it. It's just like immediate car sick.
I wish you would have made it last week to the doctor.
I know, me too.
You just forgot about the appointment?
No, I had an alarm set, but I also had an alarm set to wake up Ozzy. So I'm wondering when I turned off his alarm, did I turn off mine?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he woke me up 5 minutes before my appointment and said, "Don't you have an appointment today?" And it's almost an hour away, so there's no way I could have got there on time.
Oh,
I must have turned my alarm off when I turned
right.
off the alarm I had set for Ozzy.
Right. Welcome in, whoever just came in. How are you? We're
I'm not
just.
agreeing with any of these lipstick colors with the color I did.
What color of eye did you do?
Purple, like 3 different shades of purple, and then underneath, like the maroon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like no matter what lipstick I choose, I don't agree with it with the eye color. I'll find one, don't you worry. I like this palette though. You don't need much. A little goes a long way.
Yeah, it's a good palette.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's see what color lipstick you want.
Right.
Hmm. I still have your palette here.
Oh, really? I need to send off yours. And
Do you know which one I'm talking about? I mean, I have more than just your palette, but do you remember which palette?
no.
That Jawbreaker one?
Oh, yeah. I remember now.
What color lipstick? What color lipstick? That works. And it's like I get really, really thirsty for water, but then when I drink water, it hurts. So it's like I take sips of water. Sometimes I feel like I'm hungry, but then if I eat, I feel worse. Like the other day, all I had was French fries, and it was a nightmare.
That sounds horrible.
If it gets worse, though, I'll just go to the ER.
Well, I hope they. Well, I just hope that you can get it figured out. Well, I'm trying to think of something else. Like, so was there anything else different from like what I found to what that they said in those story and like in the videos?
Well, in the one video, they said that when they didn't find the house, the bodies underneath, when they lifted up the flooring and they didn't find the bodies, they actually had the house moved. Like they moved the house over
Hey,
trying to find the bodies.
welcome back, Matthew.
Did you hear about that part?
Yeah, they said that.
And then those 3 hands that they found them in the well with the other body.
Yeah,
Most of them were found in the orchard.
but there was so much that I wrote down that I didn't write down every fact that I wrote down because
The only
otherwise,
other thing that I don't know if you mentioned is that later on they found the weapon, like the hammer-looking hatchet or
yes.
whatever. They did find that,
I mean, but like, I just there was so much
but I
that
don't think they have DNA. Like, how are they gonna
they
prove
could.
that
Yes,
just because they found it doesn't mean it was them that used it?
right. There was just
And
so
was
much.
it Charles Ingalls? Was that the Charles Ingalls
Yes,
from Little House on the Prairie?
yes. I already told you that it was.
I thought so, but then I was like, really?
Yes, that's the connection with House on the Prairie.
So the little girl that died, that was one of the Little House on the Prairie girls?
No, they were neighbors.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And then then in Little House on the Prairie, she writes about it that Paul Ingalls went and helped the search.
I didn't really care for the podcast
See,
because I
Matthew
learned
knows. Paul Ingalls went and helped look for the Benders. It's in the book.
I didn't like the podcast one. I like the ones where you could watch the story happening, like where they animated it.
Yeah.
I didn't really like the podcast where you just sit there for an hour and listen to talking. I mean, I did. I listened to it, but all 3 videos pretty much said the same thing.
Well, I mean, it's the story of them.
Well,
Like
right.
that's
So
what happened.
even though there was a lot that was undocumented or unimproved, every video that I had the same story.
I
So
mean,
there had to be some truth. I mean, like, not truth, but
right.
it didn't change. Nobody changed their stories over the ones that I watched. Everybody had the same story.
I don't think there's any new facts about them.
No, no. There
I
was
think
nothing that we didn't mention that I saw. I like to see how they moved the house. Was it that late that all the men could just lift it?
no, they probably had a team of horses. They
Yeah.
put like like how they move houses now, but they didn't have trucks to move it, so they probably put they probably put it on things and had a team of horses move it.
Yeah.
Is my guess, because I don't think men just push the house.
It seemed like mostly men. Well, it didn't seem like it. Mostly men did die.
Horses and town folk. I mean, I would think a team of Clydesdales is my guess. If I had to take a wild guess, I'm guessing a team of Clydesdales. No,
Yeah.
that's probably what they had. Team of Clydesdales.
Your eyes look good.
That's my good farm girl education guess.
You find my contour. There it is. No, I have a lot to organize in here.
Is it a mess? You don't want to say it because you don't want Matthew to say, "Oh, look at that mess."
No, it looks beautiful. See?
Well, you don't want to say it.
It looks beautiful. There's makeup all around me, so it looks beautiful. Actually, there's not makeup all around me. There's 2 dressers, the storage thing, a big plastic thing. There's mostly things. I just have to figure out where I want to put the things
Uh-huh.
and what things I can get rid of.
Look, look at that organized mess.
It is very organized, messy. No, but it is very unorganized. Like I have pallets over here. It's a mess. I need a whole day to sit here. But I need to figure it out in my head first. Because like I said, the picture that I sent you guys still makes it look bigger than it is. If I stand up to it, it comes up to.
I think you're overthinking it. It's
I want to put it so that it makes things convenient for me, but I have to think about how that will work.
it's just an organizer. It's not that big
It's
of
not
a deal.
just an organizer.
It's not that big of a deal.
I begged for this for a long time, and now I got to make it work.
You put your
I can't go wrong. Huh?
you put your stuff in it.
Yeah.
You know, put your stuff in it.
It'll work. I just need a day where I don't feel like crap.
Matthew, since you know the story of the benders, what kind of stood out with you for you, like the benders? Besides that they were like sickos, because I think they were real like sickos.
So why did they put everybody in the orchard? Were they trying to use it as like
I'm
in the
guessing
soil
to hide the
to make
bodies.
soil better?
I'm guessing to
Huh?
hide the bodies. I'm guessing nobody would look there and they were just trying to hide the bodies.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to eat any apples that grew
They
in
didn't
that
care about
orchard.
the well. They put a body in the well. They obviously didn't care about the drinking water. I think they were just trying to hide the bodies.
Yeah, but I would be like sick to my
Right.
stomach
That's
if
what
I
I
found
thought
out.
too. They got away with it. I can't believe they got away with it. But I don't think they would get away with it now. Like if it was nowadays, if something like that happened nowadays, I don't think they would get away with it.
I don't think so either. And the weirdest thing is that they found so many people like themselves. That they all wanted to kill people. I mean, like, usually you have like one person in the family who's a serial killer, but no, the whole family was serial
They're
killers.
nuts. They're completely nuts.
What did you just say? Hey guys, you want to go kill people? Like, and everybody's like, yeah, let's go. They were all into it.
I know. It was the brother that, like, they would have killed a lot more. I mean, but isn't that like with all serial killers? If it wasn't for one thing, they would have kept they just would have kept killing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what makes them serial kill. I mean, they just kind of like, I don't know. But this is kind of weird because the whole family, like you're saying, because usually serial killers do like kind of be by themselves. They're not usually known for being with a group. They're usually by themselves.
I'm going to turn my thing sideways because you look up close and I look far away.
Yeah.
And it's hard to read the comments. There. I feel like I'm missing a step. Blush. There we go. I forgot blush. No, I did blush. No. Yes. Highlighter. Contour.
Lashes.
Mm-hmm. I can put mascara on them though.
Eyeliner,
There, I am forgetting stuff. See,
brows. Do you
no,
do
I don't do my brows.
you don't do your brows? What's wrong with you?
I don't know why you do yours. Yours are fine.
I mean, it just makes them stand out a little better. I mean, you have to
I
fill.
clean them up, but I don't make them darker.
I don't make mine darker. I just fill them in a little bit. Because everybody has one wonky brow.
I don't think my brows are wonky.
I said one. I didn't say that they're both.
See, look at it.
That
My brows
everybody
are
has
fine.
one brow that behaves and the other one that doesn't.
Look at my brows. They're fine.
Okay.
Besides, I have bangs that cover them anyway.
I have bangs.
That cover mine.
When I put my bangs down, they cover mine. Everything's finished. It's like your lashes, like, did you do,
Every time I've ever done my brows and made them darker or filled them in or whatever, I didn't like them afterwards. I
you
went and
could
got
use
a wet
like
wipe and wiped them off right
gel.
away.
You like just use gel or you like try to fill them in, fill them in.
Well, here, I'll show you what I just got in the mail. So I have to start doing something just to review it. Here, I'll show you. I got the influencer box,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. What is it? Yeah, here. Here's the eye for the influencer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all kosher products. And I got these 3 products. You see?
Mm. Oh.
There are 3 different brow products. One's a brow pop. It's a dual action defining print pencil. The other one is Air Brow. It's a fluff and hold treatment gel. And then the last one is Air Brow Fluff and Hold Treatment Gel Clear. One's clear, one's brown. Then there's a pencil. But look at the container on this. I love the container that they sent it in. It's so pretty. Look at.
I'm looking. That is cute.
It's like iridescent.
Mm-hmm.
I like it just to look at it. I don't even use it. It's pretty. I'll give it a
It's
thumbs
just
up.
like that's funny.
No, I'll try it. Especially the clear one.
Right. So do you want to kind of recap everything while I'm finishing up the benders?
About the benders?
Mm-hmm. Because there's 4 people in here.
So tonight we did Murder and Mystery Mayhem. We did the Bloody Benders, and we told the story about like how they're related, if they're brother, sister, mother, father, who they killed, how many people they killed, where they how they killed them, where they put the bodies, where the bodies were found. That we believe that they did all these murders because they were stealing from the people mostly, and then I know the mom, she got married quite a bit, and everybody she married, she killed.
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Know that for fact.
Nothing is actually, I don't think anything is actually proven.
Because they got away with everything. So they never
Were there
actually.
like 25 murders that they know of?
I can't remember. I mean, the list is in front of you.
Yeah, but
they probably
podcast,
killed more.
Yeah, more than what they know.
Yeah, because there were bodies after they ran.
Um,
And if you
what else?
include the husbands.
What's that?
And if you include the husbands,
Right.
she killed more. I mean,
They're not sure if the brothers and sister or brother and sister, or if they're husband and wife or boyfriend girlfriend.
right,
Were they married?
husband. Well, they don't know
Pop
if
Common Wall.
the mom and pop Bender were ever married. They don't know if Kate it was actually her daughter. They don't know any. Like there was no documentation at all.
The only thing that they do know is that Kate was Elmira's daughter.
The fifth daughter, they think, but that once again, there's no documentation. There's absolutely no documentation about them.
Right. Oh, the daughter, she believed that she was psychic and that she could heal people.
Mm-hmm.
She was the only one in the family that was like that,
Crazy.
though, right?
Happy.
Nobody else in the family believed that they had those powers, right?
No, it was just her. She.
Hi, up crazy. How are you? I
How
don't
are
know. I
you
just
doing
think the whole
laundry?
thing.
I need to do. I need to fold laundry. I got a lot of laundry done, but I need to fold it.
No, I need to do laundry. Now that the kids don't live at home anymore, we don't go through it as fast. Like, I usually have to do laundry every day.
Right? Kids dirty up.
Now it's like once a week. I also have a clothes addiction, so I have enough clothes that I don't have to wash them all the time.
Right. We are good. We are good. So this is my finished look. We both used the cake palette from Glam Lights.
Right here. Right here is the cake palette. It opens up like a stove. And then you take the cake out. And here's the cake. And inside the cake, here is the beautiful color story. I used this one, this one, this one, and this one. So I used 4 of the shades, all the purple ones. Basically the corner here and the maroon one. I didn't know that all the Glam Light palettes could be folded though. Until you told me that. I didn't know that.
Okay. So I used this yellow one, this gold one, and then I used that pink one, and then I used the 2 purple ones, and then I used this one too.
That one is pretty. I like that one. And then I used the Stila Glitter and Glow on my lips and went over top of it with the Jeffree Star the gloss.
Okay. I used the About Face.
I like that. Do you like that?
I like it. This is just a nude.
I want to try the eyeshadow, but it's cream also.
Yeah.
Or lip, so you have to know how to blend it out.
So this is our looks for the night. What do you guys think? How did it turn out? How did you guys like the story?
I was nervous in the beginning. I'm sorry. It's something new for me. I wanted to say the story how the story should have been said, but then I also knew from watching it, so I was nervous how to put it together. So sorry, guys.
Well, next Friday is going to be slumber party, and then tomorrow I'm going to be doing my normal live. And so I'll see you tomorrow, and then next Friday is slumber party. Are you guys doing movie night on Sunday?
Yes.
Okay, so movie night on Sunday.
It's 8 Eastern.
8 Eastern. And then tomorrow, 7 Central. And then summer party next Friday, same time as tonight.
Yes.
And then, no, I won't be going live next Saturday because my kids will be with me. So that is everything, right? Does that cover it?
I believe
All right.
so.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Have a wonderful night.
Have a good night. Bye.